A little over a month ago, I flew to the other side of the world, but this time was a bit different. For the first time in my life, I flew business class and I didn't pay a penny for it. No special offers, no accumulated miles, and no inside contacts. The question at the time was, can I get something others pay thousands for entirely for free by planning, executing, and interacting with other people in a particular way? The answer is almost always yes. The hard part is figuring out how. And it was this challenge that motivated me, not the flight itself. Don't get me wrong, flying business ended up being pretty cool, but I saw it more like an extra, like the reward I would be given if I was able to win this little social game I had set up for myself. It was the first time I had ever tried to get a business class upgrade. Now, it could have been completely dumb luck, that's always a possibility, but the only reason I even stood a chance at getting the upgrade was because I actually tried. And a 1-for-1 sounds pretty solid to me. So let's talk about what worked for me. There are a few factors that you may have little to no control over. Number one, you need to fly alone, period. It's already hard enough getting business class for one person. Getting it for two would take a miracle. Another factor is that the plane has to be full. If the plane is empty, you have a 0% chance of getting an upgrade. Airlines tend to sell more tickets than they have seats to ensure a full flight. What happens when everyone shows up? Economy class gets crammed and staff are allowed to make room by offering a few people an upgrade to business. Another thing to consider is that the mood of the person that you speak with and the timing of that conversation are almost impossible to control. It can have a huge influence on whether you get the green light or not. But let's talk about the controllable factors, the things that I specifically did to increase my chances of getting the upgrade. The first thing I did was sign up to my airline's frequent flyer program. In this case, I was flying with Emirates, so I signed up for their Skywards program. I created the account and gave them a missed call with the hope that it would register on their system. About 1 month later, I called them, gave them my details, and asked if I could reserve a bulkhead seat. Bulkhead seats are the ones that you see near the emergency exits with more legroom. These seats usually aren't available until 24 hours before takeoff, but the purpose of the call was to pop up on their system. Again, on the morning of the flight, my mentality was dress to impress. They will never give you an upgrade if you're wearing sweatpants or anything else that's too comfy. This is actually what I wore. I put on one of my best button-down shirts, long pants, and my best watch. Looks smart and clean. It is business class after all. So I went to the airport, waited in line, and when it was finally my turn, I politely greeted the staff member at the check-in counter and let them know I was a Skywards member without making it obvious. I asked something along the lines of, I registered on your Skywards program and I was wondering whether the miles from this flight will go towards my new account. Regardless of the answer, they now knew that I was a Skywards member. Airlines love membership programs, and if they think that you're going to be a returning customer, it's in their interest to impress you. We continued talking at the check-in, and this brings me to my final step. This last step is very, very important. Do not ask for a business class upgrade. This should be common sense. It's an airport. They work at the check-in. There are hundreds of people per day asking them for an upgrade. It's rude, it's annoying, and will almost never work. Treat them with respect, ask them how their day went, and don't waste their time. So instead of directly asking for a business class upgrade, I asked about the bulkhead seats that I had previously called for, now that the 24-hour window was open. I said something like, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I called a few times regarding the possibility of maybe getting bulkhead seats. I'd just like to know if there are any available at the moment. After a brief smile, she told me I could get a bulkhead seat, no problem. I smiled, thanked her, and proceeded to look for something in my bag. At this point, everything that I had worked for was on the line. She knew what she needed to know and had me in front of her buying time. I actually did not think that I was going to get in, but after what felt like an eternity, she discreetly nodded for me to come over and asked me if I'd like to travel in business class. On the inside, I was like, yeah! But on the outside, I held my best poker face and told her that would be amazing. Mission accomplished. I was in, and it was time to get my trophy. If you're planning on trying this yourself, the worst mistake you can make is expecting to be given the upgrade. It's important to not obsess about the end result because it's very, very easy to fail. And this goes for anything, whether it's aiming for a personal record, working for a promotion, or training to win a competition. If you obsess about the end result and fail, then failure is all you're left with when it's over, and that kind of sucks. Aim for a journey that you can look back on for what it meant, because whether you ended up failing or succeeding, you'll always have that experience of when you challenge yourself to do something you had never tried. And as I said before, that experience is something that I'll have with me forever.